Ancient civilizations achieved technological marvels we are only beginning to understand. This journey uncovers 20 incredible inventions that were centuries, even millennia, ahead of their time. You will discover how societies without modern tools built self-healing concrete, crafted the world's first computer, and performed advanced surgical procedures. We will explore why a sophisticated ancient device was lost for 2,000 years and how an empire managed its cities with a precision that rivals modern planning. What does our past reveal about the true potential of human innovation? A corroded lump of bronze and wood lay forgotten on the ocean floor for 2,000 years. When sponge divers first brought it up from a Roman shipwreck near the island of Antikythera, it seemed like just another piece of nautical junk. Yet this unassuming object, no larger than a shoebox, would eventually be recognized as the most stunningly complex artifact from the ancient world. We now call it the Antikythera Mechanism. Crafted around 100 years before the Common Era, it was a portable cosmos made of bronze gears. By turning a hand crank, an user could unlock a celestial prediction machine. It displayed the positions of the sun, the moon, and the known planets. It forecast lunar and solar eclipses with astonishing accuracy. It even tracked the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games, tying human history to the rhythm of the heavens. For decades, its true complexity remained hidden beneath layers of calcified corrosion. It was only with the advent of advanced 3-dimensional X-ray technology that researchers could peer inside without destroying it. What they found was breathtaking. The device employed a system of interlocking bronze gears, including a sophisticated differential gear that archaeologists once believed was an invention of the 16th century. This single component allowed the mechanism to model the variable motion of the moon, accounting for its elliptical orbit. The craftsmanship implies it was not a one-off experiment, but part of a known tradition of Greek mechanical engineering, a school of thought that vanished from history for millennia. How could ancient artisans, working without precision tools or modern metallurgy, achieve such a feat? The Antikythera Mechanism stands as a silent challenge to our linear view of progress, a ghost from a past that was far more mechanically literate than we ever suspected. It proves that the concept of a computer is not a modern one, but an idea that flickered into brilliance and then was lost to the deep for 2,000 years. While the Antikythera Mechanism was a masterpiece of intricate gears, another ancient innovation achieved its brilliance through sheer, silent endurance. Picture the Roman harbor at Caesarea, its massive breakwaters still standing firm after 2 millennia of relentless waves. Modern concrete structures exposed to the same seawater often deteriorate in mere decades. The secret to this incredible longevity was not just in the Roman recipe, but in its ability to heal itself. Recent analysis has uncovered the remarkable chemistry at work. Roman engineers mixed lime and volcanic ash with seawater to create their concrete. This specific combination triggers a slow, continuous chemical reaction. When tiny cracks form, water seeps in and reacts with the volcanic materials, creating new, rare mineral crystals that expand and fill the fracture. The damage repairs itself, a process that can continue for centuries. This stands in stark contrast to modern Portland cement, which lacks these reactive ingredients and simply erodes. The knowledge for creating this living stone was lost with the empire's decline, a forgotten art only now being deciphered through electron microscopes and advanced material science. It makes you wonder what other architectural secrets are still locked within the stones of ancient amphitheaters and aqueducts. How did they achieve such a perfect, sustainable formula without our understanding of chemistry? This self-healing concrete is a testament to a lost science of building not just for the present, but for a future they would never see. While Roman concrete passively withstood the test of time, another ancient invention was designed for immediate and terrifying effect. Across the sea, Byzantine warships patrolled with a weapon so potent it could define the fate of empires. It was a liquid fire that roared across the water's surface, a blaze that water itself seemed to fuel rather than quench. Known to history as Greek fire, this substance was the pinnacle of ancient chemical warfare. Operated by specialized teams on the decks of their ships, it was projected through bronze tubes using pressurized pumps or siphons. Upon hitting the sea, the mixture would ignite into a roaring inferno, clinging to enemy ships and sailors with a horrifying persistence. The exact formula was the most closely guarded state secret of the Byzantine Empire, known only to a select few, perhaps even the emperor and a single family of chemists. Its composition was so effectively protected that it vanished entirely after the empire's fall. Modern historians and chemists have proposed various theories, suggesting a base of crude petroleum or naphtha, potentially mixed with quicklime, sulfur, or saltpeter. The inclusion of quicklime is a particularly compelling idea, as it reacts violently with water, generating intense heat that could instantly ignite the petroleum mixture. The psychological terror it inspired cannot be overstated. Facing a fleet that could command the very sea to burn was an experience that shattered morale before a single boarding action could occur. How did these ancient alchemists, without controlled laboratories or a periodic table, perfect such a volatile and precise recipe? Their mastery over raw materials represents a lost chapter in chemical engineering, a brutal application of science that secured naval supremacy for centuries. This mysterious weapon demonstrates that ancient innovation was not only about preservation and calculation, but also about harnessing the raw, untamable power of nature itself. The same mastery that produced a fire that water could not extinguish also forged a metal that time itself could not corrode. In the heart of Delhi, a towering iron pillar has defied the elements for over 1,600 years. It stands more than 7 meters tall, a single 6-ton piece of wrought iron that shows almost no sign of rust. This is not a modern alloy protected by coatings and constant maintenance. It is an ancient artifact, a testament to a lost science of metallurgy that we are only just beginning to appreciate. Scientific analysis reveals the pillar's secret lies in its unique chemical composition. Ancient Indian metalworkers crafted it with a high phosphorus content and a very low amount of sulfur. This specific recipe encouraged the formation of a thin, protective film on the metal surface, a passive layer that shields the iron from the oxygen and moisture that would normally cause it to crumble into reddish dust. This is a brilliant inversion of modern practice, where phosphorus is typically viewed as a harmful impurity and is meticulously removed during steel production. These artisans did not see an impurity, they saw an ingredient. The pillar's own inscription hints at another layer of sophistication, suggesting it was originally erected in a different location and later transported. Imagine the logistical feat of moving such a massive, solid iron object with ancient technology. It speaks to a culture with advanced skills not only in smelting and forging, but in engineering and heavy transport as well. How many other ancient alloys and metalworking techniques have been lost, their secrets still locked within artifacts we have yet to properly analyze? This single, rust-resistant pillar challenges our assumptions about the timeline of materials science, forcing us to wonder what other durable wonders were crafted in forges whose fires have long since gone cold. While the Delhi pillar stands as a solitary monument to metallurgical genius, an entire civilization achieved a different kind of brilliance through collective urban design. The great cities of the Indus Valley, Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, were laid out with a foresight that feels almost modern. Over 4,000 years ago, their streets were arranged in precise grid patterns, a level of organization unseen again until the rise of classical Rome. Every house was connected to a sophisticated, city-wide drainage system, with covered channels running beneath the streets to carry waste away from homes. This was not a haphazard development. It points to a powerful, centralized authority, one that could enforce a single vision of urban living across a civilization spanning more than 1 million square kilometers. The consistency is staggering. Bricks used in construction from one city to the next were baked to the same standard size and proportions, a uniformity that speaks of rigorous quality control. These cities featured vast public baths like the Great Bath at Mohenjo-Daro and large, centralized granaries for storing harvests. There is even evidence of what may be the world's first municipal garbage collection, with waste bins placed along main thoroughfares. How did they coordinate such intricate planning without the communication technologies we take for granted? The Indus Valley script remains undeciphered, so we cannot read their administrative records. Their achievement rests entirely on the silent, enduring evidence of their cities. This early urban sophistication, especially their mastery of water and waste, sets the stage for another hydraulic marvel that would emerge centuries later, demonstrating that the control of water was a cornerstone of ancient advancement. The brilliance of urban plumbing in the Indus Valley finds a remarkable parallel in the mastery of desert survival. Deep beneath the arid plains of ancient Persia, engineers devised a method to make the desert bloom. This was the Qanat system, a network of underground aqueducts that functioned like veins carrying life-giving water across vast, dry landscapes. Developed over 3,000 years ago, these tunnels tapped into mountain water tables, channeling the flow with a gentle, precise slope to prevent erosion, and most ingeniously to stop the precious water from evaporating under the scorching sun. The construction was a monumental undertaking. Teams of workers dug a series of vertical shafts down to the water table, sometimes spaced every 20 meters, and then connected them with a horizontal tunnel. These shafts provided not only access for digging but also crucial ventilation for the crews and a way to remove the excavated earth. Some of these subterranean channels stretched for astonishing distances, over 50 kilometers, all engineered by hand and with simple tools. The longevity of these systems is a testament to their perfection. Many Qanats remained in continuous operation for centuries, with some still providing water to farms and villages in Iran today. This technology did not remain a secret. It spread along trade routes, influencing water management from the oases of North Africa to the deserts of Western China. It fundamentally transformed barren lands into centers of agriculture and settlement. How did these ancient surveyors, without lasers or advanced mathematics, calculate the perfect gravity-fed slope across such immense distances, ensuring the water would flow steadily for generations? The Qanat system stands as a quiet monument to human persistence, a solution to scarcity that worked in harmony with the Earth's own forces. This deep understanding of harnessing natural power leads us directly to another ancient innovation, one that captured the wind itself to serve human need. A simple clay jar unearthed near Baghdad held a secret that quietly rewrites our technological history. Inside this unassuming vessel, archaeologists found a copper cylinder and an iron rod, insulated from each other by a stopper of baked asphalt. Dated to some time between 250 years before the Common Era and 250 years after, this object appears to be a primitive battery. When reconstructed and filled with an acidic liquid like vinegar or grape juice, it produces a small but measurable electric current, around 1 volt of power. This is the Baghdad Battery, a device that seems to defy the established timeline of electrical discovery by nearly 2,000 years. The purpose of these jars remains one of archaeology's most tantalizing puzzles. Some researchers suggest they could have been used for electroplating, to deposit a thin layer of gold or silver onto other metals for decorative objects. Others propose a medical application where the mild current might have been used for therapeutic or analgesic purposes, a form of early pain management. A third, more speculative idea is that the mysterious tingle of electricity was used in religious ceremonies, creating a sensory experience to signify a divine presence. The debate is fueled by the discovery of similar objects at other sites, indicating this was not a single strange pot but potentially a known technology. If these were indeed batteries, it means the fundamental principles of electrochemistry were understood and applied long before Alessandro Volta invented his voltaic pile in the 19th century. It forces us to ask what other subtle forms of power ancient people might have harnessed, knowledge that left no obvious mark on the historical record. This glimpse of potential electrical mastery connects to another leap in mechanical ingenuity, one that used the power of air and water to transform an entire kingdom. An ornate bronze vessel stood in a Chinese court, a silent guardian against the tremors of the earth, crafted by the brilliant scholar Zhang Heng in the year 132 of the Common Era. This device was not merely decorative. It was a functional seismoscope, an earthquake detector invented nearly 2,000 years before modern seismographs would become standard. Its design was both beautiful and brilliantly intuitive. 8 dragon heads encircled a central urn, each holding a bronze ball in its jaws. Below each dragon sat a corresponding bronze frog with its mouth open, waiting. The internal mechanism, though its exact design is lost, is believed to have used a sophisticated inverted pendulum. When seismic waves from a distant earthquake arrived, the pendulum would swing, tripping a lever that released a single bronze ball. The ball would clatter into the frog's mouth, clearly indicating the direction from which the tremors originated. Historical accounts from the Han Dynasty record a stunning success. On one occasion, the device activated, releasing a ball to show a quake to the west. No one in the capital had felt a thing, and the report was initially met with skepticism. Days later, a messenger arrived from a commandery 400 miles to the west, confirming a major earthquake. How could an instrument from antiquity sense vibrations across such a vast distance, identifying the direction with such accuracy? It reveals a profound early understanding of wave propagation and mechanical sensing, a science of the Earth that was centuries ahead of its time. This ingenious attempt to predict the movements of the planet itself mirrors another ancient ambition, one that sought to map the far more predictable motions of the stars. The precision of Zhang Heng's seismoscope reveals an ancient world deeply attuned to natural cycles. But no civilization pursued this cosmic harmony with more devotion than the Maya. From the dense jungles of Mesoamerica, they mapped the heavens with an accuracy that would not be matched in Europe for over 1,000 years. Their greatest achievement was a calendar system of staggering complexity, built upon centuries of relentless observation. Without lenses or telescopes, Mayan astronomer priests calculated the solar year to be 365.2420 days. Our modern measurement is 365.2422 days. The difference is a mere 26 seconds. This was not a lucky guess. It was the result of a sustained, generations-long project to record the sky's movements. Their tracking of Venus was equally precise, with a calendar for its 584-day cycle, accurate to just a single day every 5 centuries. They even understood the slow, gradual wobble in the Earth's rotation known as the precession of the equinoxes, a concept credited to the Greek astronomer Hipparchus, yet the Maya appear to have charted it independently. Their observatories were their temples. Structures like El Caracol at Chichen Itza are not merely buildings, they are stone computers. Its narrow windows and unique circular architecture align perfectly with the sun's path at the equinoxes and the most extreme northerly and southerly positions of Venus on the horizon. Inside, scribes meticulously recorded their findings in bark paper codices. These sacred books contained detailed tables predicting eclipses and the movements of planets, allowing priests to forecast celestial events for centuries into the future. How did they compile such vast data sets using only the naked eye, counting sticks, and their complex vigesimal number system? Their celestial knowledge was so embedded in their culture that it governed agriculture, sacred rituals, and the very timing of their city's construction. This profound mathematical sophistication, achieved in isolation, forces us to reconsider the very nature of scientific discovery. The Mayan obsession with cosmic order finds a fascinating parallel in another ancient device, one that used intricate craftsmanship to model the universe itself. High in the Andes, an empire managed its sprawling territory without a single sheet of parchment or a carved glyph. Their bureaucracy ran on knots. The Inca Quipu was a deceptively simple device, a collection of colored cords hanging from a primary string, each one tied with a complex language of knots. To the untrained eye, it might look like an elaborate tassel or a piece of folk art, but to a trained Quipukamayok or knot maker, these strings were a living database. The position, type, and sequence of knots represented numbers, allowing the Inca to record census data with precision, track vast stores of food in their warehouses, and manage the labor tribute owed by millions of subjects across the empire. Each color of string could signify a different category, perhaps yellow for gold, red for soldiers, or brown for potatoes. This was a tactile, portable record-keeping system for a civilization with no known written script. But was it merely an abacus made of thread? Many researchers now believe it was far more. The patterns are too complex, the arrangements too varied to be only numerical. Some quipus show mathematical relationships like the Fibonacci sequence, hinting at advanced calculative abilities. Others may have recorded stories, laws, and genealogies, a three-dimensional writing system that we have not yet learned to read. The tragedy is that we may never fully know. During the Spanish conquest, countless quipus were systematically destroyed as pagan objects, a catastrophic loss of knowledge that silenced an entire empire's archives. What epic histories or scientific data were lost when those cords were cut? The Quipu stands as a haunting reminder that information technology is not confined to ink and paper, and that a civilization's greatest intellectual achievements can be woven into the most humble of materials. This same ingenuity in creating complex systems from simple components would soon manifest in a different part of the world, where artisans discovered how to transform a common material into objects of impossible beauty and strength. The legendary swords of Damascus were more than just weapons, they were material marvels, forged from Wootz steel ingots originating in India. These blades possessed a mesmerizing, watery pattern on their surface, a visual signature of their unique internal structure. The secret was not just in the raw material, but in a lost art of thermal cycling. Artisans would heat, hammer, and fold the steel, then slowly cool it over days. This intricate process, a dance of extreme heat and patient cooling, forced the carbon within the metal to form microscopic structures that modern science has only recently identified. Incredibly, these include carbon nanotubes and cementite nanowires, the very same advanced materials being engineered in labs today for their incredible strength. This nanoscale reinforcement gave the steel its legendary combination of razor sharpness and breathtaking flexibility. A Damascus blade could be bent into a U shape and spring back to true, a property that meant it would not snap in the heat of battle. European crusaders who faced these swords in combat spoke of them with awe, recounting tales of them slicing through lesser blades and even a silk scarf as it fell through the air. The knowledge to create them, however, vanished in the 18th century, possibly lost with the depletion of specific ore mines or the passing of master smiths without apprentices. Modern metallurgists can now explain why these swords were so superior, but reproducing the exact method and material remains a challenge. It forces us to wonder how many other material secrets were perfected through generations of hands-on experimentation, only to be forgotten. This mastery over raw elements to create superior tools finds a stunning parallel in an ancient innovation that reshaped the very landscape of travel. A simple metal sphere spinning on steam contained a principle that could have remade the ancient world. In the 1st century of the Common Era, the Greek engineer Heron of Alexandria described the Aeolipile, the world's first documented steam engine. It was an elegantly simple device, a hollow ball mounted on a boiler. As the water heated, steam was forced out through 2 bent tubes on opposite sides, causing the entire sphere to whirl with surprising force. This was not just a toy, it was a practical demonstration of the principle of action and reaction, the same foundational physics that would one day propel rockets and power turbines. Heron himself saw it as a temple wonder, a divine spectacle to amaze worshippers, yet his other inventions reveal a mind racing centuries ahead of its time. He designed automated temple doors that appeared to open by divine command, powered by heated air and counterweights. He created a coin-operated machine that dispensed holy water, a precursor to modern vending. He even built programmable carts that could move along a predetermined path using a complex system of ropes and knots. These were not just curiosities, they were the seeds of automation. So why did these brilliant machines remain novelties, locked within temples rather than transforming farms and workshops? The ancient economy was built on abundant manual labor, primarily provided by enslaved individuals. There was no pressing financial incentive to invest in the complex and costly development of labor-saving machinery. The social and economic structures simply were not there to nurture this technological spark into an industrial flame. It is a haunting thought that the principles for an industrial revolution were understood and demonstrated, yet the world was not ready to receive them. This profound missed opportunity in mechanics finds a startling parallel in the realm of ancient medicine, where another advanced practice was performed with astonishing success. The same hands that forged rust-resistant iron also performed surgeries of stunning complexity. Deep within the Sushruta Samhita, a medical text from around 600 years before the Common Era, lies a detailed guide to reconstructing the human face. This was not speculative theory. It provided step-by-step instructions for rebuilding a nose using a flap of skin carefully sliced from the patient's own cheek or forehead. The surgeon would sculpt this living graft into a new nasal structure, using 2 hollow tubes of reed to serve as temporary nostrils, ensuring the airway remained open during the delicate healing process. This procedure, known as rhinoplasty, was likely developed to restore the features of individuals who had suffered injury in conflict or through judicial punishment, allowing them to reintegrate into society without the stigma of disfigurement. This text describes over 120 specialized surgical tools, from scalpels and forceps to probes and needles, many with designs that echo instruments used in modern operating rooms. The anatomical knowledge displayed is staggering, with precise descriptions of muscles, bones, and joints. The text even outlines a method for cataract surgery, using a sharp needle to delicately displace the clouded lens and restore a degree of vision. How did these ancient practitioners achieve such success without the benefits of modern anesthesia or a germ theory of disease? Their methods reveal a profound, practical wisdom. They used natural antiseptics like turmeric and wine to clean wounds. They understood the principles of wound healing and the importance of using living tissue from the patient's own body to prevent rejection. Their success relied on a deep, empirical understanding of the human body, gained through hands-on practice and meticulous observation over generations. This sophisticated medical science, focused on restoration and healing, stands in stark contrast to another ancient ambition, one that aimed not to mend the body, but to preserve it for eternity. The meticulous art of ancient surgery finds its echo in the staggering precision of stone. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as a monument of such geometrical perfection that it defies simple explanation. Its four sides align with the cardinal directions with a deviation of only 3/60ths of a degree from true north, an accuracy that would not be rivaled for over 4,000 years. To put that into perspective, imagine leveling a surface the size of several football fields to within the width of your thumb. The builders achieved exactly that, with the pyramid's base level within just 2.1 centimeters across its 230-meter span. This was not merely brute force construction. The dimensions of the pyramid itself are a mathematical puzzle, subtly incorporating the transcendental number pi and the golden ratio, concepts that would be formally defined by Greek mathematicians millennia later. How did a civilization without magnetic compasses or modern surveying tools achieve such a feat? They turned to the heavens, likely using the circular motion of stars around the celestial pole to establish true north with painstaking patience. Recent archaeological work suggests the logistics were as brilliant as the astronomy. Evidence points to the use of an internal, spiraling ramp system, allowing workers to haul the massive stone blocks from within the structure as it rose, a method far more plausible than the long, straight ramps of traditional theory. The true technology, however, may have been the organizational genius required to coordinate a workforce of thousands for decades, feeding them, housing them, and directing their labor with the efficiency of a modern corporation. This architectural marvel, a testament to a society's ability to harness human effort on a colossal scale, makes us wonder about the tools they used to manage such a vast enterprise. This mastery over monumental organization leads us to consider a very different kind of ancient system, one designed not for stone, but for the swift delivery of information across immense distances. Spanning the empire was a stone highway stretching over 40,000 kilometers, a distance that could nearly circle our entire planet. This was the Qhapak-Nyan, the Inca road system, an engineering marvel carved across the most extreme landscapes on Earth. Without writing, the wheel, or iron tools, Inca engineers conquered the Andes by weaving the very mountains into their network. They cut staircases into sheer cliff faces, chiseled tunnels through living rock, and laid stone pavements that still lie firm underfoot today. To cross the deep ravines that split the highlands, they engineered suspension bridges of astonishing strength, crafted not from rope but from woven grasses and fibers. These vital arteries were constantly renewed by local communities, a shared responsibility that kept the empire connected. Along these paths, a state-sponsored relay of runners known as chasquis operated with stunning efficiency. Stationed in pairs at way stations spaced a short run apart, they could carry a message or a parcel of fresh fish from the coast to the highland capital of Cuzco in a matter of days. This was a land without horses or wheels, so information and light goods moved at the speed of a human sprint. How did they survey such a perfect route across cloud forests and active fault lines, achieving gradients that modern engineers would admire? The answer lies in a profound respect for the terrain. Instead of forcing a straight path, the road adapted, flowing with the natural contours of the land in a demonstration of engineering humility that is rare even today. This mastery over geography to feed a continent-sized empire finds its ultimate expression in another innovation, one that allowed them to farm the unfarmable. The same ingenuity that carved roads through mountains was born from a far older struggle, the battle to make the desert yield life. Long before the Inca, the first farmers of Mesopotamia faced a relentless sun and two unpredictable rivers. Their survival depended on a radical idea that water could be commanded. From these river valleys emerged the world's first true irrigation systems, a hydraulic revolution that began over 8,000 years ago. This was not just digging ditches, it was a sophisticated network of main canals that branched into smaller channels, delivering life to fields far from the Euphrates and Tigris. They engineered dams to control the flow and built sluice gates of wood and stone to regulate the water's passage with precision. To lift water from the canals to the higher fields, they invented the shaduf, a simple but brilliant counterweighted lever. A worker could swing a bucket into the canal, then use the weight to effortlessly lift it and pour the contents into an irrigation ditch. Later, the more powerful sakya or water wheel allowed for continuous lifting, driven by the current itself or by animal power. This was agriculture engineered on a grand scale, but the true genius of the system lay in its administration. Scribes recorded everything on clay tablets using cuneiform script. These were not just lists, they were legal documents detailing exactly how much water each farmer was allocated and when, along with their responsibility for maintaining the canals. This was the dawn of water law, a formal recognition that this precious resource required collective management to prevent conflict and ensure fairness. These systems did more than water crops, they watered civilization itself. They sustained the world's first cities like Uruk and supporting populations that swelled into the hundreds of thousands. The proof of their robust design is written in the land itself, where some of these ancient canals remained in productive use for thousands of years, a longevity that modern infrastructure can only envy. How did they achieve such sustainable agriculture without any of our engineering models or materials? Their success was built on generations of accumulated observation, a deep understanding of silt and slope, and a social contract etched into clay. This mastery over the earthly waters finds a fascinating parallel in their command of the celestial, where another culture would create a device to model the very cosmos they believed governed the river's rise and fall. A bronze disc unearthed by treasure hunters on a German hilltop carries the oldest known map of the night sky. The Nebra Sky Disk, crafted around 1,600 years before the Common Era, is a stunning artifact from a time when Central Europe was considered a cultural backwater. Its background is a deep blue-green patina of bronze, speckled with golden orbs that form a cluster of 7 stars, almost certainly the Pleiades. A large golden circle and a crescent moon complete this celestial portrait. But this was not a static piece of art. Over its long life, the disk was updated. Golden arcs were added along its edges to mark the sunrise and sunset points between the solstices, turning it into a practical instrument. Later, another arc was fastened to the bottom, interpreted by many as a solar boat, a mythological vessel carrying the sun on its nightly journey beneath the earth. This single object is a layered document showing centuries of evolving astronomical thought. It proves that Bronze Age people in this region were not merely surviving, they were actively observing the heavens, using this knowledge to synchronize their lunar months with the solar year. This was essential for knowing when to plant and when to harvest, tying their daily lives directly to the cosmic clock. How many other sophisticated tools, carved from wood or woven from fiber, have simply returned to the earth without a trace, leaving us with an incomplete picture of their intellectual world? This portable cosmos, designed to be held in the hands, connects the celestial realm to the practical needs of a society, a theme that carries over to the next great innovation, which harnessed the power of the sea itself. Beneath a canopy of unfamiliar stars, Phoenician sailors charted courses across the open ocean. Their world was the Mediterranean, but their ambition stretched far beyond its familiar shores. Ancient historians recorded a staggering feat, a voyage commissioned by an Egyptian pharaoh where a Phoenician fleet allegedly circumnavigated Africa, a journey that would not be replicated for over 2,000 years. These mariners did not accomplish this with luck. Their success was built on a foundation of revolutionary shipbuilding. They constructed their hulls using mortise and tenon joints, interlocking wooden pieces that were fitted together with such precision they created a strong, flexible frame, a technique that made their vessels far more seaworthy than simple nailed boats. They mastered the use of multiple sails, allowing them to harness the wind from different angles and maneuver with an agility that left their competitors behind. Their famed bireme and trireme warships, powered by banks of oarsmen, became the dominant naval force of their era, but it was their deep knowledge of the natural world that truly set them apart. By day, they read the sun and the color of the water. By night, they steered by the steady rotation of the constellations, using the North Star as their fixed point in the heavens. They memorized the patterns of seasonal winds and currents, turning the sea itself into a predictable highway. Some scholars even suggest they may have used lodestones, naturally magnetized pieces of iron ore, to maintain a sense of direction when the sky was obscured, a primitive form of the magnetic compass. This mastery of the sea allowed them to weave a trade network that stretched from the tin mines of Britain to the spice markets of India. Their ships carried not just goods but technologies. They were famed for their production of a vibrant purple dye, extracted from sea snails through a complex and secret process, and for their innovations in glassmaking, creating translucent vessels that were prized across the ancient world. How did they cross vast, empty stretches of water without a single modern instrument? Their navigation was a living science, a blend of celestial observation, environmental intuition, and shipbuilding genius passed down from captain to crew. This deep understanding of connecting distant ports through maritime skill finds its logical counterpart on land, in the creation of a system designed to connect an entire empire with astonishing speed. Within the labyrinthine palace of Knossos, a queen could enjoy a bath with running water over 3,500 years ago. The Minoan civilization on Crete engineered a hydraulic network so advanced that it feels jarringly out of place in the Bronze Age. Their artisans crafted distinctive tapered terracotta pipes, designed with narrow ends that cleverly increased water pressure to push waste and debris through the system, a principle of fluid dynamics we still use today. This was not a simple drain. It was an integrated public health system. They built sedimentation tanks that allowed impurities to settle out, providing a form of basic water purification before the water ever reached the palace chambers. Most remarkably, their drainage systems were designed with separate channels, one for stormwater runoff and another for sewage, a level of urban planning that would not become standard again until the modern era. The palace itself featured bathrooms with sophisticated, flushable terracotta toilets connected by clay pipes to a main sewer that ran beneath the complex. This early separation of waste from living areas would have dramatically reduced the spread of waterborne illness, creating a healthier environment for the palace's inhabitants. How did they conceive of such a comprehensive approach to sanitation, an idea that seems to leap over centuries of conventional development? Their entire system speaks to a profound, practical understanding of hydraulics and community well-being, a triumph of engineering that was lost when their civilization fell. The quiet hum of water through Minoan pipes represents one of humanity's earliest and most sophisticated victories over the challenges of urban living. This mastery over the flow of water and waste brings our journey to a close with one final, breathtaking leap of ancient innovation. 2,000 years ago, bamboo towers pierced the sky over China, marking the sites of a drilling operation of staggering ambition. These were not shallow wells, but sophisticated rigs designed to plunge deep into the earth, some reaching an incredible 1,400 meters below the surface. During the Han Dynasty, engineers perfected a technique called percussion drilling. A heavy iron bit was suspended from a bamboo cable within a towering derrick, and a team of workers would rhythmically jump on a lever, causing the bit to repeatedly slam into the ground, pulverizing the rock layer by layer. The sheer scale of these derricks, some standing as tall as a modern 15-story building, reveals an industrial enterprise of massive proportion. But how did they manage such depths without steel cable or modern machinery? The bamboo itself was a key innovation, its natural fibers providing a remarkable combination of strength and flexibility that could withstand the constant pounding and stress. As the borehole deepened, the engineers faced the same problems that challenge drillers today. The walls of the shaft could collapse, so they lowered hollowed-out tree trunks to act as casing, reinforcing the borehole and protecting their investment. When a tool inevitably broke and was lost deep underground, they did not abandon the well. They devised a set of specialized implements known as fishing tools, clever grappling hooks and hooks lowered on ropes to carefully retrieve the lost equipment from the dark depths. This was not a haphazard effort, it was a systematic, refined technology. The primary target was brine, a salty groundwater that was boiled to produce precious salt. Yet in their pursuit of salt, they unlocked another resource, natural gas. They encountered pockets of this flammable gas, which they called fire well gas. With incredible foresight, they began to capture it, building bamboo pipelines that stretched for kilometers. They channeled the gas to evaporation pans, where it fueled constant, intense flames under large iron pans, boiling the brine far more efficiently than wood ever could. This created the world's first integrated energy and chemical production complex, a system where the extraction of one resource directly powered the processing of another. This systematic exploitation of fossil fuels using deep drilling and pipeline transport would not be seen in the West for over a millennium. How did they solve the immense problems of pressure, containment, and transport with bamboo and wood? Their success was a testament to incremental innovation, where each solved problem, each retrieved tool, and each reinforced well shaft built upon generations of accumulated practical knowledge. This remarkable ancient industry brings our exploration to a quiet end, not with a simple gadget, but with the deep hum of an entire system at work, a testament to the timeless drive to reach into the earth and harness its hidden power. These 20 marvels of invention, scattered across continents and centuries, are not merely a collection of curiosities. When we view them together, a deeper story emerges about the very nature of human ingenuity. It is a story of parallel discovery, where civilizations separated by vast oceans independently arrived at similar solutions. The grid cities of the Indus Valley and the carefully planned roads of the Inca, for instance, both represent a universal human desire for order and efficient movement. The mastery of water, seen in the Persian Qanats and the Minoan aqueducts, speaks to a shared imperative to conquer scarcity. This pattern suggests that the drive to innovate is a fundamental human trait, bubbling up wherever people face common challenges of survival and organization. Yet for all this brilliance, the thread of knowledge is astonishingly fragile. The loss of Greek fire's formula and the forgotten art of forging Damascus steel reveal how easily entire libraries of technical skill can vanish. These were not just secrets, they were complete systems of understanding that depended on a specific cultural and economic context to survive. A master smith without a worthy apprentice, or a complex recipe known only to a single family, could see centuries of refinement disappear in a single generation. This highlights a crucial truth that technology does not exist in a vacuum. It requires a society that values it, an economy that can support it, and a tradition that is willing to pass it on. We can also see different rhythms of innovation at play. Some advances, like Roman concrete or Chinese deep drilling, were the result of slow, cumulative refinement. Each generation built upon the practical knowledge of the last, creating robust systems that improved incrementally over hundreds of years. Others, like the Antikythera Mechanism, stand out as sudden, almost inexplicable leaps, brilliant flashes of insight that seem to arrive fully formed. Their very existence forces us to ask why. Why were some of these ideas embraced and integrated into the fabric of daily life, while others remained fascinating novelties? The answer often lies in the pressing needs of the society that created them. A civilization concerned with feeding vast urban populations would pour its genius into irrigation. An empire built on trade would push the boundaries of shipbuilding and navigation. The technologies that thrived were those that solved an immediate, critical problem. So what common ground did these diverse cultures share that allowed such sophistication to flourish? Stability was essential. It takes generations of observation to create a calendar as precise as the Mayas, or to perfect a self-healing concrete. Resources played a role: access to specific ores, volcanic ash, or skilled labor. But perhaps the most vital ingredient was a culture of learning, a system for preserving and transmitting hard-won knowledge, whether it was etched onto clay tablets, encoded in the knots of a quipu, or passed from master to apprentice in a smoky forge. This broader view transforms our understanding of the ancient world. It was not a series of isolated flashes in the dark, but a slowly brightening tapestry of interconnected discovery, where each thread of innovation, however distant, was part of humanity's collective journey to shape its world.